Hey, what's up y'all? Welcome back to Build With Me. This is the series where I, GriffonSmash, build something. I just build something. There's not really much I can say. I just kind of build stuff and I show y'all. I'll go ahead and talk about my process of what I'm building today, and we'll get straight to it. In today's episode, I decided, you know what? I want to do some organics. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a crane. Now, I did find a reference. Let me go look at what that reference was, actually, because I don't remember. Anyway, the build I'm going to be doing in today's episode is going to be a crane. And the build that I'm referencing is one that's done by Davd Builds. Davd. I'm sorry I butcher your name, but I can't really pronounce it. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I saw this color palette, the shape, and the type of crane that he produces, and I was like, you know what? I want to try this myself, and let's see what happens. I use this reference quite a bit, and I used most of the same blocks, and I used the same pose. So it's pretty much like his build, but I'm going to try to see if I can copy it. And not block for block, but I want to see if I can do it, because this is a good way for me to practice learning how to build organics, especially birds. And I kind of am a bird. And so is this guy right here, and I think I do need to know how to build birds if I want to be a bird myself. Yep, I can confirm. Anyways, let's get straight into the build. The first part of the build that we need to think about for a crane, or well, I should say heron, because I kind of got the whole idea wrong, because herons are apparently different from cranes, and I didn't know that. The first thing we need to worry about are the legs, because the legs tend to be one of the hardest part of any organic. We need to figure out how to space them, how to pose them, and whatnot to be able to get a organic feel for the legs of the heron itself. One of the things that I noticed when I was looking at Davd's build was the fact that they use a lot of fences and walls to make sure that they can create an organic shape. This led to the idea that I need to just kind of go with the flow and just keep building and not really think too hard about whether or not the blocks make sense right now. I just want to build a basic shape and then build on it as I go. I'm also going to want to look around the entire build to make sure that the proportions make sense, because if I'm looking at it from the front right now, it's kind of thin, and I don't think this heron will be able to fly, or actually walk, with legs this thin. It'd probably snap on touching the ground. Skipping past all that darkness, let's go ahead and build up a second leg now that we have the first leg mostly complete. Now we have to look at this leg from around the different angles and figure out whether or not the shapes make sense and whether or not we like the look of it. And I didn't like the look of it, so I'm going to keep going around and messing with it to make sure that this claw looks like it can grab something, because it's probably going to hunt a lot of fish. After I get the shape of the claw correctly set up, I want to go ahead and try connecting this leg up to the other leg, and that way we have ourselves at least some sort of bottom torso, and then we can work from that area up and then create upper torso with the wings and then the neck and then the head. It's a whole process, but eventually we'll get there. Now that the whole torso is done, we can go ahead and start working on the body itself. And I kind of forgot about the fact that powdered, like white concrete powder, has gravities, so we're gonna go ahead and swap that out for calcite, you know, a much nicer block because it doesn't fall. Anyways, we can go ahead and start working on this torso and the wings, which is gonna be a fun little thing, because I've never built a bird in Minecraft, so this is gonna be a first. I mean, sure, I have built a griffin before, but that doesn't count. That's different. So the first thing we were going to work on was the tail, and then we're going to move on to the wings, because I feel like those are some of the most prominent parts of the heron itself. Since the body is mostly covered by the wings, this is the part we need to focus on first. Once we get the shape of the wings down, then we can start focusing on the body, since the body doesn't really matter in this case. It's not going to be seen, so who cares? So right now we got this wing here, which is made up of packed ice, calcite, some cyan wool, and light blue wool, I think? Yep. And then the body is mostly made up of diorite, white wool, and calcite, as well as a little bit of tuff and some more cyan and light wool, or light blue wool, I should say, as well as a little bit of quartz. Let's see. After we finish the body up, we need to start working on the neck. Once we get the neck in, then we can get the head in, and then we can make sure that it looks like a heron, because if we don't even have a head, who knows? It might just be a roast duck for all we know. The hardest part about this entire build, in my opinion, was the neck and the head itself. I couldn't get the head to look right completely, and it just kind of looked kind of funky. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now we're just working on some wings. But anyways, here's the head. I told you we'd get to it. And this is the problem. This is such a small area, and we have to try getting the eyes in, as well as the kind of head shape that a heron has. We also wanted to make sure that the eyes looked kind of interesting. We wanted to, at least I wanted, to give it more of a menacing look. And then we also have to get the beak looking proper, otherwise it's just gonna look like one of those Daffy Duck kind of looks where the beak is just kind of funky. This means I had to play around with the shape and make sure that it looked kind of curved like this, which made it more realistic. I was happy with the overall shape, but it does look kind of funky from certain angles, so I don't know how it's gonna look completely just yet. But we still, of course, have to make sure that we play around with everything to make it work properly. For example, I didn't like the orange eyes. I wanted to go for more of a blue, which made it more of like a hero Heron kind of vibe, where it's like, he's the protector of the area, he's looking over everything, and he's all-seeing. I was also not really happy with the black cover I gave to the Heron. I wanted to make sure that it kind of flowed with the head and not look like a hat. And that meant I had to replace some of the blocks on top of the head with some black stone to make it look more like that. I'm really happy with the shape of it overall. I think it does look pretty good. But now that we have basically the entire shape of the Heron done, we just have to work on shading. This is what I would do in a drawing, and I would do it here while building at the same time. Because building is similar to an art. So, you know, shade at the very end once you have the basic shape going, that way you at least have an idea of where to put the shading. And once the shading's done, your building is done. Look at this, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the silhouette of this thing, it looks really cool. It does look a little bit derpy from the front, but we'll look past that. We won't be looking at it directly like this for very often. Well, I said that completely wrong, but I'm not gonna fix it because I'm too lazy to edit that out. But I'm happy with this. So once again, we have finished this build, and I am really happy with the way it looks. So let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Do you like this build? Do you think you're gonna build something like it? I forgot to get rid of my Light Matica thing, because I do plan on building this in my main survival world, but we'll talk about that another time, mainly in that episode. I think I learned a lot from this. I learned how to build these legs so properly that, you know, I can probably build more bird stuff like, okay, I forgot to get rid of this dirt tower as well. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Whew, the power of editing is really strong. But anyways, I'm really happy with this. I love it. I'm definitely gonna be building more of these because I think it's good practice. I want to build them in different poses, like ones that are flying, ones that are taking off, ones that are sleeping, ones that are in the water, swimming, whatnot, you know. I think herons are really cool. I'm really happy with it. Don't mind these. I'm also taking screenshots at the same time because I'm a bad YouTuber. I gotta do everything at the same time to, you know, waste less time. But yeah, again, let me know down in the comments below. What did you like this build? Do you think I should build more things like it? And do you think the practice from this was worth it? I think it was. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you're gonna build something similar to this. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. And of course, have a good one, y'all. Let me know what I should build next in the comments below as well, because I do want to get to building more things in creative.